Hi guys, this is Utkarsh. This is my data structure lab exercise number 5, implementation of stack and queue using linked list. In the first program, I have to implement the stack operations such as push, pop and display using linked list. This is our program. In this, I have created a structure called stack node. It contains data of integer type and next of the stack node type, and there's an object, a pointer object, top, which will point to the topmost element, and there are three operations: push, pop and display. I will explain these functions one by one. The push function, in this I have created a temporary node, a node called temp, and I have prompted the user to enter the data, and the data is being inserted in temp.data, and the temp.next will point to the topmost position, that is temp.next is equal to top, and top will point to the top is equal to temp, that is the topmost element is temp is only the topmost element. Here you see the other function, pop function. First it is checking if top is equal to null. If the top is equal to null, it will display stack is empty, that is there is no element in the stack, or in the ring list, and then if it will display stack is empty, else it will pop out the topmost element which is in the list, that is see, it is deleting delete temp. So delete function, it will delete the temporary node, and it will display the deleted element is temp.data, and the next function is void display, and it is a type, it is of type void, that is it's returning no value, and it is displaying all the elements that are in the linked list, and if there is no element, if it is, it will check if top is equal to null. If there is no element, that is top is equal to null, it will display stack is empty. Now let's come to the main function. Here first we are asking from the user that what's your choice, like to push, pop or display. The user will enter his or her choice, and according to that those functions will be called push, pop and display, and it will work. So just we see the output of this program. Suppose enter your choice, the first one, enter some data like 1, then again enter choice 2, then 3. Suppose 3 elements you have inserted, and now we want to display these elements. It's displaying 3, 2, 1. Now suppose we pop out an element from it, the topmost element, and suppose we enter 2, it is showing that deleted element is 3, that is 3 was the topmost element, so now it's deleted. Now you can check it by displaying, see, only the linked list containing 2 and 1, that is 3 is deleted. So this was our first program. Now let's see the second program. In the second program, you have to implement a queue operation such as insert, delete and display using linked list. This is our code. In this I have taken a structure node. It is having info of integer type and next of node type, and there are two pointers, rear and front, that are pointing to the structure, and then there are three functions enqueue, dequeue and display. This enqueue function, it is inserting the data. First it's prompting the user to enter the data that is to be inserted, and then temp.info is equal to data, that is data will be inserted in the info field of the node, and temp.next will point to null, means there is no next element. If if it will to check if front is equal to null, front will point to temp, means there is, if there is no previously it is having no node, so this will be the first node, and else if it already there are some nodes, it will add this node to the end of the linked list, that is rear.next is equal to temp and rear is equal to temp. Similarly, in DQ, we can see it's creating a temporary node, a node called temp, and then it's creating temporary node, and then it's checking if front is equal to null. If front is equal to null, it will display q is empty, else it will delete the element that is at the means front position, the first position, and through this delete function delete temp. And next, this is display function. It will check whether the queue is empty or not. It will check front is equal to null. If front is equal to null, that is there are no elements, so it will display queue is empty. Else it will display the elements that are in the linked list. Then we see the main function. In this, I have taken rear front as null, and then there's a while loop. It will terminate while it is true, and then there are four choices: enqueue, dequeue, display, and exit. If the user enters one, it will prompt the user to enter the number that is to be enqueued, and will enqueue it, and simply dequeue will delete the last element, and display will display elements. And if you want to exit the program, simply press for. So let's run the program. And suppose we enter a choice as 1, enter the data that is to be enqueued, like 1, again 2, then 3, then 4. Suppose now you want to display the data, so that is displays 1, 2, 3. Suppose if we wanted to delete some element, like now I'm deleting this, the 4 will be deleted from the queue. Now you can check it by display. See, oh sorry, 1 will be deleted, 1 is removed. Now if you want to pop out some other elements like 2 also, so dq. Now 2 is deleted. Let's display it's 3 and 4. So from it is like a queue. It's like the linked list is working like a queue. It is inserting the element from one end and deleting the elements from other end. So it's working like a queue. So this was our two programs: implementation of stack and queue using linked list. Hope you understood it. Thank you and have a nice day.